I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, people? Yo. Okay. Zoom, get it together, y'all. All right. Just get it together. Okay. I've had enough problems with you today. Okay. We got great interviews right here, and you're not stopping us. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. So we have an amazing author on the show, and you guys know how I love authors. They have to have this big imaginations, but not only that, stop the presses. We got a children's author, which means they have even bigger imagination because kids have huge imaginations. Like I remember when I knew I could fly because when I dreamed, I went to sleep, I was flying. And I still love my children like dreams today. And that's where my author comes in. She's amazing. She's flying forward in her quest to be the top children's author of the day. I want to welcome Nicole to the show.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So tell me about yourself. Oh, thank you. Tell me about yourself. How did you know you were going to do this?
That's a good question. Well, writing has always been a part of my life. I did not think I could be an author. It was always more so just a means of expression and just jotting down some real strong feelings. And that's kind of how one of my books started. It started off just as, me looking at a photograph of a young Nikki, and some good and bad memories came back to me, and I felt this strong feeling to write something down. And I went as far as to write down the idea of what I wanted, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. And fast forward to the pandemic happening, I started to visit it a little bit more, and it started to develop into more of a story, not just me writing my feelings. And long story short, I really said, this book, I feel, could have been such a help to a child like me when I was a kid. And I was like, why don't I publish this? What's stopping me? And honestly, I just did the research, how to become an author. And I that's how it happened, literally.
Wow.
Yeah. So I did what I needed to do, and I got it done. And I'm very proud of these books. So
I'm very proud of you, girlfriend. A lot of people don't realize that there's so much information on the internet for you to get started. If you want to be an author, all you have to do is just look it up. I mean, literally. Exactly. But don't nobody write about my childhood, because I wasn't the bully, but I definitely wasn't going to be bullied.
Right. Awesome.
So my mom was there at the principal's office at least once a week, because I was not having it. I was not going to be bullied. Nobody was going to hit me, punch me, touch me, or anything.
Sounds very similar to my experience.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, I'd fight back now. Don't think you got an easy target in me. That's not going to happen. I mean, so tell me about the books. You said you have more than one. So tell me about these books, and what do they teach the children?
Right. So Little Nikki, like I mentioned, like the characters are all based on real people that actually had major impacts in my life. So I mentioned my family, my first teacher, her name is Miss Dodd. She was very special to me. I always say, like, when someone's really kind to you, always remember when someone's kind to you. And I've never forgotten her. I mean, she was the first teacher I've ever had, and she's stuck in the back of my mind, this whole time. And essentially the book is about just transitioning from self-doubt to finding her way to self-love using positive affirmations. And essentially she finds her way through her teacher. Her teacher basically gives her a book and helps her to understand what self-love is. And she goes home after basically experiencing some form of bullying at school, because as a kid, I was just so full of energy, full of life, just this kid that just didn't care about, the world around. I was just so free. And when I got to school, that all just kind of dimmed because of the bullying I was experiencing. And it was mainly because I was maturing a lot quicker than the other children. And when I say maturing, not necessarily just taller, but I was developing. I was growing into a little girl. And my classmates were still kind of like small, tiny. Nothing's wrong with that, but compared to me, I felt like the outsider, and I was made to feel like the outsider. So the book essentially sends the message to be yourself, and to find your way to self-love. And I hope that it would inspire them to use positive affirmations or whatever to gain self-confidence when faced with any form of bullying or, hardship. And this is the book, Little Nikki.
No.
And basically you see the little Nikki who basically learned all the self-love and the affirmations, giving the love to the old Nikki. That's the premise of this book. And it's very special. And that led me to my second book, Ebony and Her Crown. Yeah, I love this book. This was more so about representation. And I knew I wanted to stay within this theme of self-love, positive self-image. And that's what this book is about. And I chose hair because what girl or even boy can't relate to that topic of just being insecure about your hair? And in this, it's a different format in the sense that it's a poem, but it basically teaches you about social conditioning. And I made sure that the child was very young, almost like a toddler, to basically emphasize that social conditioning can start very young. In this era, I feel like kids are being raised with the screen time, television, their iPads and so forth. And unfortunately are learning from outside influences what is deemed as a socially, acceptable and what is beautiful based on what they see on TV. And basically she starts to, Ebony, the character in the book, starts to question the nature of her hair. What's so special about my hair? It's so thick and big and huge. And I knew I wanted to put a loving mother in there to kind of give her those words of wisdom of, that's the way your hair is supposed to be. It's supposed to be big and wild and crazy, and basically makes her feel, it's okay to have pride with the way your hair naturally is, and gives her that sense of, confidence that this is how her hair is meant to be. So yeah, again, this is more so about positive self-image, also about self-love and self-acceptance. So that's the premises of all my books, is just to show kids that they are special the way they are.
That's so cool. That is so cool. It's traumatizing.
Yes.
When a child who doesn't have control over their bodies grows up faster. You don't expect these things to happen. How can you stop it? And the children can be so mean because you're different. They think that different is bad or different is funny, and so it can be very traumatizing, and I'm glad that you've written about these moments in your life, and you've made them transparent, and you've made them lessons for other parents to teach their children. This is amazing to me. So, okay, so you have Little Nikki, you have the other books. What are you going to be doing in the future? Are you going to be continuing this line?
Yes, I actually I was going to dabble into like animal characters this time. Just more so about adventure, do something a little bit different. Of course, there's always going to be a love message in there, whether it's to be kind, be respectful, but I wanted to do something a little bit different with my third book. I also, before I even started these books, I was writing a romance story. So that was a little bit different. That's kind of what sparked my writing again, because sometimes I do a lot of writing, then I stop and then so forth. But I entered it into a competition. Unfortunately, didn't win, but the point of the competition was they gave you a topic and you were supposed to write around that topic and then leave it on a cliffhanger. And so the story technically isn't finished. And I think I might want to finish that. So still, of course, classy content, because I'm still a children's book author. But that's something I also want to look into finishing. But yeah, my third book, definitely, I want to deal with like animals and just teaching kindness and stuff.
Awesome. Okay, so what's different from writing the children's books to writing the sultry, the different kind of, the other books?
Oh, the romance. Oh,
yeah.
See, so I watch a lot of Lifetime TV, and that's where a lot of
I love it. Oh yeah, I am a diehard love,
Right?
corny,
Yeah.
what is it called? What do they call it? Those corny love stories where you already
Yes.
know the girl and the guy are gonna get together,
Exactly.
but I just have to see it.
It's predictable, but you still want to see, you're going to
I
watch it
still
to
want
the
to
end.
see it.
Yes. And honestly, I love the lifetime that it was maybe 10, 15 years ago, you know, when I first started watching it, but because now it's become a little bit more, like we said, more predictable. But yeah, a lot of my inspiration came from those stories, just the love stories and meeting by chance and leaving, you know, just basically engaging your audience and putting some mystery in it. So it's a little bit more fun to write, honestly, because you're giving these characters life and you're giving characters like these personalities. And I don't know, I had a really fun one. It was really fun for me to write it. And I think if I finish it, it will really be good. So I'm going to continue working on that.
Awesome. It's so fun. It definitely is fun. I love reading them. I'm not very much good of a writer. I mean, you know what? I would have to say, what is your writing style? How do you do it? Do you do it pen to paper and then type it, or do you type it in the beginning?
Right. So for Little Nikki, it was actually a therapeutic process. So like I mentioned, I found this old photograph of myself because with all the bullying, believe it or not, I actually thought I was much bigger than the kids. So when I looked at it and I saw myself and I was like, wow, you know, I was just an average size child, but I was made to feel like I was, you know, but yeah, that's what started it. And my process is normally just instinctual. If I feel something, I write it down, but I leave it alone. I don't like to write too much and kind of force something. I like to have a long journey process with my writing. And then I keep coming back to it and developing it and developing it. With Ebony, that one was kind of like, it just came out of nowhere. I was, yeah, I knew that I wanted to stay in the realm of self-love, self-acceptance, that type of theme. But as far as the poem and just the flow of it, everything kind of just came out at once. And of course I came back to it, but for the most part, that was just a one-day writing situation. But I normally decide like the style of writing depending on what the story is going to be about. So what's it called? The romance story is a little bit more detailed. You have to like give them like visual of what the person is wearing, what the person is feeling, what's around them, because you want to be able to see yourself within the character almost, because it's a book. You want to also still be visual with it. So it was a little bit different, but I think that's why I enjoy it more, because it's a bit more imaginative. But I still love writing my children's books. You know, nothing will ever stop me from writing those. Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. It's great to be a kid. You can be a kid within the children's books. You never have to grow up. It's just perfect.
Yeah. And I've gotten such great feedback, not only from kids, but some of them were teens. So I was like, do I need to change my age range on this? I was kind of like 3 to 7, but I was getting like responses from 10, 12, 18 even. I was like, wow, that's really, that means I'm making some form of impact.
Yeah, so definitely. Now, not only did you do this in English, but you did this in Spanish?
Yes, I did. So proud of it. La Pequeña Nikki, also available on Amazon.
No, she didn't. Go on Spanish on me.
I sure did.
Hey, well, I mean, you know, there's so many different children out there in so many different places in the world. Why not?
Exactly. And I might translate it again, but for now it's in Spanish and I'm very happy about that. So,
and I'm very happy you had that. Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. Congratulations on that. Wow, that is so cool. And I can't wait for you to finish this adult, you know, sultry, sexy one. Okay. I'm just saying, I just want to see what it is. I just want to see what it is. I mean, because you know, lifestyle TV, Lifetime, the whole thing. I am down for it. Okay. I am down for it. All right. Well, where can people find your books? Where can they get their books?
Yeah. So on social media, specifically Facebook and Instagram, my name on there is Nicole M. The author. And my website is NicoleMarshall88 www.wixsite.com/author.
Awesome.
And my book website has everything that you need to know about me as an author and where you can shop for all my books.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're going to put that in the description box below so that you guys have no problems getting there and checking this out for yourself. You may even want to actually check out the bullying books like Little Nikki. You definitely don't want to miss these books if that's something that you think that your child has been traumatized with. There are just so many different methods to helping your child get over this. And like she said, she didn't even realize she really wasn't that big. You know, sometimes our imaginations just take over. We're taller than life. Okay. So definitely you want to check that out. Thank you so very much, Nicole, for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And don't forget to dare to be different. Until next time, guys. Bye.